Yo, what's up, guys? I hope you have a beautiful day. We have great news today. Waiting for 10 years. 10 years. The first time we asked for an ETF approval was in 2014 by the Winklevoss brothers. So today, it's almost 10 years ago. We are waiting for this opportunity. 10 years ago, where we suffered, where we didn't have clarity, where we basically believed in something that we didn't knew is real. And now we know it's real. It's fucking real, guys. Okay? So we got approved. Yesterday evening, the ETF was approved for Bitcoin, which is a bright future for the space. And yeah, for now, as you see, we broke new highs. We are almost at 49K. For people that are not into Bitcoin right now, I would wait, because this is all the FOMO built up since 6 months to this point. It's pumping, none than less, but yeah, be very cautious. If you are into Bitcoin since a few months, you made great profits. So what will happen now? Is it more likely that we still continue up and that we don't see downside, or will it correct? So I will not base this video on my opinion on what is gonna happen, but I will it based on technicals. Why? Because my opinion doesn't really matter, okay? I can tell you now, I believe it's gonna go to 69K, or I believe it's gonna go to, I don't know, 25K. But at the end, nobody really knows what to expect, okay? We just have chart data, and chart data tells us the next move. So in the 3 days ago, I believe, I said we have this Bitcoin dominance liquidity to sweep. So for right now, we didn't really sweep the highs, which is also great. But we saw what we needed, okay? So right now, I believe if Bitcoin runs further today, we're gonna come back up to this point if the altcoins are not ripping off. Right now, we can see here, maybe I need to, you can't see it, but let's see, I go to CoinGecko. So what do we see? We see Bitcoin 11.8% in the last 7 days, 7.6% in the last 24 hours. Sui, what is this? No, sorry guys. Here it is. So Bitcoin ran 7.6% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum 11.3%, 24 hours. Tether, BNB 8.2%, Solana 14%, XRP 11%. You see all over the board we have green. Okay, this is a great start into the year. This is what we were waiting for the last 1.5 years bear market. Okay, so this is extremely great. This just gives us the confirmation the space isn't dead. The space is active. Now, every correction we are going to see in the future will be just a correction, okay? Just a correction. If that happens, buy in, okay? Buy in. This is all you need to focus on. Buy in once it corrects. We have the confirmation now. For me, in my opinion, there are lots of predictions where it could go, but I always say don't focus on the high prices, focus on the moment, okay? Focus on the moment. If Bitcoin comes down now, or if you try to buy now, there is a big possibility that you will be in loss for quite some time, okay? Because we have all these imbalances didn't got filled yet, okay? But as it's the first time we saw an approval of an ETF in this space, nobody really knows what to expect because retail investors aren't really involved into the markets right now. The only retail investors that are still active in the market are those who are in loss because they bought the top and those who know the space and are into this space since a long time. Okay, so those who are in since a long time, we made great profits. It's a great time. Let's fucking go. But for those that want to come in right now, be careful, okay? Wait for the dip. Wait at least a few days or weeks because don't forget, we now waited for 1.5 years to see this profit. So don't be greedy and try to find the right moment to enter the space, okay? There are projects like, for example, XRP that are still suppressed. You have a better entry in a project like XRP than you have in a project like Bitcoin right now, okay? So we have the approval for the Bitcoin, which does not mean there will not be upside in the whole space, because you need to look market cap sometimes to see what is undervalued, what is overvalued. And as you see, Bitcoin is at a market cap of $950 billion, okay, $950 billion. Ethereum is at $320 billion. So projects that are regulated, or let's say, as the moment comes where we see the full settlement of the case, you will have the opportunity to buy something that is in the top 10 since 2012, okay? This is in the top 10 since 2012-13. So it survived everything. We had now a suppression for over 3-4 years with this case, okay? Yo, what's up, Alex? Right. How is your day going? Yeah, finally. It was such a crazy time. I mean, since 2017, I believe, no, it was 2016, they already expected an approval of the ETF. So this whole speculation bull run that happened already made us great profits. But now we have the approval. Now we just need to be a little bit more patient, okay? Just patience. If it dips, going in. If it goes up, take profit, okay? Because we don't know what will happen. Nobody knows. We can expect, we can have some ideas of our own, but it does not mean it's right. Everything can happen, okay? So for me, the conclusion of why there is a possibility that we don't correct as much as we are used to in the last cycles, or the last cycle, not all the last cycles, because we had like a 40% dip in 2016 at the start of the bull run, but we had a few corrections along the way, but nothing that broke structure as in 2020. So what makes me believe that there is a chance that we will not see the big correction that we all think it's going to happen, just because I will show you this again. I know it's boring. But we need to cover it, okay? We just need to cover it because for me it's a very important information we get on on-chain analysis, and this is just the fact that let's say the Google Trends are still at the lows, okay? So the short-term players that are just here to make a quick pump, or let's say the exit liquidity as we say it, they are not even into the markets yet. So everything we see right now is institutions scooping up since 5 years, okay? People think BlackRock is coming in now as if they would be so dumb to just enter the space right now. It just doesn't make sense. If we have the information of what it can do, what do you think? How long do they have the information of what could happen? Okay, officially they are entering the space right now. Does not mean that unofficially they didn't accumulate for the last, I even say 10 years. Okay, so keep that in mind. And as you see here on the bubble index chart, which just represents. Wait, I need to take something away because you will not see the full chart, and that bothers me. One sec. I just try to put something here to have like a timeline on what I'm talking about. But for now, yeah, it takes away the visibility for people. So I will just turn it out so you can see the whole chart and get what I'm telling you. So for me, the concern was obviously that we could have this big dump coming, because the majority of time it's always buy the rumor, sell the news. So people were anticipating this ETF approval, this cycle. Nobody knew when it would happen. I mean, a month ago, people speculated on it that it will be that there will be a decision at the deadline, but there were as much people just saying it would be delayed. So we didn't got a delay. At the last moment of the day, they bought it out. I believe the fake ETF approval wasn't a fake ETF approval. There was just some people in the SEC that was sick of waiting when there was clarity since a long time. Okay, this was all manipulation. This was just to make you reconsider to really buy, because there was a big danger. Okay, the danger was as big as the upside could be. So for many people, this was a very important event. As I said, since 2014, where the first ETF was created from the Winklevoss brothers and didn't got approved. So the whole bull run in 2016-17 were based on speculation of an ETF approval. What does an ETF actually means for the future of an asset? It just means that now institution can invest the money of their clients in a regulated market. So why is it regulated? Not because they say we have this and this regulations on Bitcoin, but just the fact that now the institutions got the green light to have their people's investments, their clients' investments they can now legally, without problems, put the money of their clients into Bitcoin. Okay, so the only reason why I believe there could be a super cycle coming and something that we don't expect is just because of the Google Trends still at all-time lows. We are at all-time lows. We are even lower than 2017 in how much people are researching for Bitcoin on the internet. Okay, so that always tells you the volatility behind it. If a lot of people are looking in Google for Bitcoin, this means the eyes are on it. Here we have a negative bubble index, which the last time we had a negative bubble index was at the 2019 bear market low. We are still not out of it. So here you can clearly see it in the last video. I know I had some things on my screen that made that you didn't saw what I actually was talking about. But here you can clearly see now we had a negative bubble index at the bottom, and now we are pumping the whole way through the negative bubble index, we were pumping and pumping and pumping the Google Trends at the lows, which means retail investors are not involved yet. So you will see a big wave of liquidations and exit liquidity coming in once we, let's say, break the highs. Once we are at all-time highs, usually the most people come into the space because they FOMO, fear of missing out. So we now, people that are in this space since 1, 2, 3 cycles, or maybe that came in this market bottom, congratulations. It was a very hard time to accumulate, especially the last dump from FTX, which could have caused as much down pressure as the Luna crash. So what I saw back then in December is that we just had a 26% dump from an FTX crash and then a rise up and a break of a wedge. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. We have one of the biggest companies collapsing in front of our eyes at the bear market lows, but still we break structure, okay, to the upside. And this was for me the confirmation that we have reached the bottom temporarily, okay? And as we know today, it was the bottom. It was the bottom. And this is the beautiful thing about it. If you don't FOMO in now at the top, you will get a good entry with high conviction that it's gonna be the buying zone where it's gonna turn and go up into the hyperbolic cycle, okay? This is what I personally believe. So combined, all of what I told you now, it's just a thing that never happened in this space. It just never happened. And we are so excited in this community. Things pumping left and right. Even one of my biggest holdings, or my biggest holding, is XRP, still holding very important levels, which are crucial to see upside in the short term. In the short term, it was very critical to not break this this low of 55 cents, which we didn't. As you see here, the dump wasn't as crazy as on this was actually perpetual contract on Bybit. So there are a lot of shorts getting liquidated, which temporarily or very quick pushes the price even lower. But as you see, as people realized that this is a form of arbitrage, so people saw, okay, we didn't actually dump as hard as on the perpetual contracts because there were less liquidations. And in this case, you can also see that all these boxes I drew in the last lives to explain you what can be potential reversal zones when we talk still about bullish events. And this was this imbalance and order block, and this imbalance and order block. So what did we do? We swept into that imbalance, we closed this imbalance here, and suck, we got back up. When do I knew that it's possible that we go back up? We had a descending channel at the bottom of a structure, and then we broke out, we retested, and we pumped. So this is very good news. For now, sorry. For now, we are still in the last imbalance before the next push, potentially, let's say, to 65 to 70 cents. If not the whole market now reacts negatively on Bitcoin and the whole space. So as long as we hold these prices, as long as Bitcoin goes further up as it does, 49k, we just reached 49k. This is amazing, guys. It is amazing. It is amazing. So I don't know, Alex, right, if you are still in the live, but if you are, let's give me some altcoin you like, so I can take a look on it. No matter which one it is, it's all the same. It's all just candles, psychology, and price action. So let's see. Let's maybe wait for some people to come in. I mean, I wasn't on the channel for almost 2 years, so people maybe forgot that the channel exists, and yeah, but the bull run is starting. People will come back, and we will grow this channel to at least 2 to 3 to 4,000 subs in this bull run. Okay, so this is my goal for my YouTube channel. The more the better, the greater the community, the more we can HBAR. Okay, let's do HBAR. The greater the community, the more great minds we have together, and the more great minds we have together, the better will be our future. Because we don't talk about the next cycle or something, we talk about the next 10, 20 years. And crypto is what brings us together, and we need to look it like that. Because if we are all just exit liquidity for one another, we will never be a community. We will just be a fake community dumping token on each other once it pumps. But if the right people are together, we can just create a massive wealth in the next 20, 30 years. Okay, so this is what I am more a guy looking at the long term, because I believe the wealth is created in long term, and short term luck is often devastating if you are not ready for it. Let's fucking go. I'm so hyped, guys. I just love it. This is crazy. Look at this beauty. I mean, this is the most beautiful W, or let's say, yeah, W reversal pattern in the whole crypto space seeing until now. So what do I see here, which is very interesting? Which is very interesting is that it's undervalued proportionally to all the other altcoins. Why? Because people stop believing in utility assets, and they will regret it once it happens. So in this case, I see once we break the 10 cents again with candle close, pushing us directly to between, let's say, 14 and 18 cents on HBAR. Okay, as we see here, this is the bottom. Oh wait, I will try to do it this way, then take Bitcoin on the left side, and then like this. So, and here you can clearly see that the break of structure in the bear market was obviously this line here. You can draw it here and make it because it was liquidity, but here was the baseline of when it crashed retest. This was the Luna collapse. So let's say we take this high here, and you look at HBAR, this would be this high here. So for HBAR, we have at least a 200% move to catch up the price action of Bitcoin. So this is in the weekly. In the weekly, as we talk now, we have this reversal pattern. I just take everything away because it annoys me. So why did we come down until here? If I go into smaller time frames, maybe we're gonna see an imbalance that got close at that particular moment. Let's see. What do we have here? So we had an imbalance right here, I can see. And if we take that, oh yes, look at this. I want it. It's not beautiful enough. Wait a sec. This was all closed in that time frame. It's hard to track this long ago in a 1 hour chart, but I am pretty sure that the market just tried to retest this whole order block here, which we did also. It just didn't close that imbalance, which is not, I mean, it's okay. We had really a harsh downside. I mean, on H bar, we didn't have one particular moment where we had like a dead cat bounce. Just this one. This was the only dead cat bounce we had, and then it just continued the madness. So for right now, I like to use Fibonacci tools. Why? Because I believe that nature is wiser than me. And this is why I use these tools, because nature is based on it and I'm not intelligent enough to reproduce it. So I would say this is the most important level to look at. We have an extension target of this ABC pattern. I mean, most of the people use ABC patterns for example, in this case, look at potential downside targets which were met also here, but I don't look at Elliott waves. I know that an ABC pump is an Elliott wave. Okay, so if we have now, for example, we have ABC 0AB, so now is the move is called BC, and once we break the high here, we can have a correction, which we did here. So we broke the high and we corrected. Let's go into a smaller time frame and see what happened there. So we sweep that high, took that liquidity, came back down. It wasn't a big move, but still almost 30% down target. So now the question is, where is the bottom? If Bitcoin goes further up, we're gonna see a break of this high. Almost sure. If not, we had this intern ABC pattern, which now isn't even didn't reach the target. But what tells us this target? This target tells us that the power of this accumulation with the break of AE has now the potential to break these highs here, which from the beginning on, as you maybe traded this pattern and got involved maybe even here in this buying zone, or you waited for the 70.8, which is always the best entry, but not every time guaranteed. Maybe you entered here at the 60.18. So for now, you are looking at 65% profit, and on the break of the highs, a 100% profit before even breaking bullish structure, bearish structure. And this is amazing. It's amazing. So I also believe strongly in H-bar because they have the fundament, they have the catalyst, they have the utility, and they have the right eyes on them. So for now, what could be a potential correction before, in case we don't break it? We could see the price coming back, let's say, to this zone. I will make it in green. So if that happens, don't be afraid to buy. Okay, don't be afraid, because this will be the greatest opportunity in that particular project to accumulate once again. Because here you can see these lows are, as you see here, 1, 2 touches, 3 touches, breakthrough, break up, touch, touch, touch. So at that price, there is something happening. As you see here, we retested, we rejected, we retested, we rejected, we pumped over, we took the last buying zone and push through. So right now we need to wait for this to break up, and then as I give you the targets, I believe there will be at least a 12 to 18, 20 cents H bar in the short term. if Bitcoin doesn't crashes like crazy. So as we know, the dominance right now is quite high. I mean, it dropped a little bit because of the pump in Ethereum. But yes, this is what I would look for. As you see, we got the first rejection right now. This was my first target. I told a lot of times that I believe that 48K will be reachable. As you see here, I had this white line on these wicks. So for me, if there is now downwards momentum coming, the only reason why we sweep these highs is to take that liquidity to go back down. Okay? But it does not mean we are gonna go right now. We also have this other block with these equal highs and that imbalance and this imbalance. So I believe somewhere between here and here, we're gonna fail and make our correction, which is totally natural. This would not mean that there is a disaster. Okay, this is just a natural correction to reaccumulate power to get to higher prices. Guys, I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know if some of you know about hacks or believe in it, don't believe in it. Wow. We accumulated in this range here. We accumulated here. We accumulated here. So right now we are very excited because, I mean, look, in 4 days, in 4 days, it's just absolutely amazing. Look, there is just 970k liquidity. Don't look at the market cap. Market cap is just, hopefully XRP pump start quickly. I mean, I understand it. We are desperately waiting for such a long time for it to pump. But for now, I believe we could be at the glimpse of the moment where it happens. If it happens, it's gonna go so quick that you will not be able to take the train. You will not be able to take it with. There's just one way you take extreme risk, but once it's gone, it is gone. This is what I believe. Same here. I mean, this was the crash from the Pulse Chain launch, which did actually split because they got the copy of their hex on another chain, which splits the supply, or better say doubles the supply and splits the price. I didn't saw that coming as harsh as it was. It was a very difficult time staying in here, but yeah, I have faith in the projects. I understand tokenomics and metrics, and I saw that, I mean, look, we had 2.4 million in buy volume today, 2.2 million in sell volume, and still we did 27%. So I always tell people, you cannot trade market cap. You cannot trade or buy market cap. The only thing market cap really tells you is the price times the supply. Nothing else. But imagine if the supply is 70 to 80% locked and the other 10% of these 20 are holding wallets not being sold. That means that there is no liquidity. You can now buy hex worth 900k and you would push the price 100% to the upside. This is what you need to understand. You buy order books and liquidity. This is all that exists in eHex. 975k ready to be bought up plus sell positions. And this is what you need to understand. How do you think that they can push in 3 days with, let's say we had 4 million in volume, to push the price up 200% in the last, look, it's crazy, 200% in 4 days. So what do we have now? Just quick. I don't know if you like it, the project or not. Doesn't matter. It's just a way to see how price action works. I can show you this on a lot of charts. The easiest way to predict a move, in this case, we have a head and shoulders, we have a cup and handle, we have a W pattern. We have no, not even a W pattern, head and shoulders and a cup and handle. So the target for this cup and handle would be 5 cents. Imagine 5 cents. How can this reach that? Because when we were a few days here at the bottom, and you're talking about a 12x, you think you're crazy, because how would this be possible? After such a dump, nobody's buying it, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so don't be confused about what people say. People don't know shit, as I don't know shit too. I just use the tools that it provides me, and then based on that I take my conclusions and try to not be emotional, because the space is so volatile that if your emotions are involved in, you are gonna get flushed out. I had days in, because I'm in since 2015, and I had days where I needed to go to sleep because I didn't want to sell my positions. That crazy this market can be. So it also depends on your personality. But at that time I was exposed, almost or 100% of my net worth was in crypto. So I saw my whole net worth getting flushed away, starting from zero again, and this 2 times. So not from zero, but I mean, you know what I mean. If you take these unrealized gains as a reality, it can be very hard to still believe in something. So now let's just take here the extension potential for this move here. So the extension potential in a hyperbolic market is always between 1.618, which is the golden number in Fibonacci, and the 2618, which confluences together with our important imbalance once we flush down. Because all this move here, as you go into the weekly, you see there are no orders. This is a whole imbalance. And I believe once we break these highs, the momentum, we're gonna crush this imbalance like never before. Okay, this is what I believe. I can be wrong. As I always say, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I do this because I love it. I am very enthusiastic about this space, and I just want to share it. This is why I have my YouTube channel. The majority of time I trade in Forex, and I trade gold, I trade indexes, futures, but this is the space which I believe is gonna just make so much money that it's difficult to find a business that can produce these types of profits. And I hold my coins over 1-2 years now with never selling them. So in my country, I'm just, once I take my profits, I'm just tax free. Okay, I need to have my tax report, but I will not need to pay taxes on my gains because I hold through. So if you buy now and sell in 6 months, you will due to taxes. If you hold something in our country for over a year, you are tax free on the gains. Okay, so because it's like almost 40% tax bill you need to pay on your gains. So I was like, I don't care about a 40% correction. If I don't get the top of the bottom of that correction, I will still be around the same profits at the bull run top if I get that entry. So I was like, no matter what happens, I will go through, I will see, I will look to buy more and finish. Because yeah, I see how quick it can go, and if you think you are right and you make the mistake in not a favorable moment, you are gonna get left behind. This is what I believe. So beautiful pattern, beautiful accumulation. I mean, if we reach the all-time high once again, this bull run, oh my god. Imagine you get now 100, yeah, you get 100 hex for $1. At the top, it went to 50 cents. So you still get 2 for $1. But let's say it corrects a little bit back down, I will re-enter 2. But from here to all-time highs, it's still 50x. Here is the starting point of the real chart where you see the market cap. Here it started. Here was the big payday. And the big payday flushed this thing down almost, 92%. 92%. After that, 92% dump. And by the way, this was almost when Bitcoin hit its top. We just had an absolute rip-off of 46,000%. So, is it possible? I mean, if then it was possible, at least these highs here in the bull run are more than possible. And then the last 3 days happened. One single weekly candle flushed out all these weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks of downwards momentum flushed out, eaten up in just 3 days. This is absolutely mind-blowing. And why is this even possible? And this is why I told you about the liquidity, because you can just buy order book flows, not market cap. This thing could go, because there are not $6 billion in hex on ETH. There just aren't. You can see it with the liquidity. So every token existing together combined times the price will give you a $6 billion market cap. But the order flows, and the thing is, people, they stake it for a long time. So they are not in circulation. They cannot be sold. Plus, you have all the holders that believe in it. It's a strong community without a lot of liquidity. And this means it can just run very hard. Okay? I don't want to predict something about it, but I'm just very aware of what could happen in the best case scenario. For me, the worst case scenario is at the all-time high, we are at these highs here. But I can just not believe it when I see this weekly candle here. This weekly candle shows you the potential. It just shows you where it can go. And you can do nothing about it. It's just how it is, and you believe it or you don't believe it. It's still gonna happen. Okay? So, for me, this investment here will be very disappointing, or it will be a huge investment that will outperform all my other investments. So I have talked once about Hex, and so you know it. I have different reasons why I am in this project, because I am in crypto since 2015. So I know why crypto was invented. I know why Bitcoin was invented and used. And today it isn't the same anymore. Imagine that the people that bash the that talk bad about the XRP community and the token because it is a banker's coin, but now they all desperately cried for a year for the banks and the governments approving their Bitcoin so they can make gains in their portfolio. So the whole morality of why it exists just went away. It's not about Bitcoin anymore. It's about the gains. So most people are going to get flushed out in such situations because of performance in their portfolio or when it dumps. But this is because you don't see the bigger vision of it. If you have the bigger vision in front of you, you will not capitalize on a 40% dump, and you will neither sell at a 2x. Because you just know what will happen. And if it does not happen, at least you can tell your children that you took your balls and tried to change something. Okay? You do not want to be the guy that tells their children that in the greatest shift of technology of mankind, you were naive or thinking you know what you talk about. Okay? Guys, I'm sorry for this, okay? I always say okay, but it's not meant the way you maybe take it. So I apologize for that. As you see, we got a rejection of 48K right now. Yeah, we had this liquidity, we swept above. Does not mean we're gonna have a rollover right now. We have this imbalance which could be naturally retested before we go higher. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that liquidity here. The positive thing about it is we closed, as I told you the last time, we have an imbalance here that could be closed. We did it almost perfect here. We closed to 50% of it, pump back up. Why did that happen? This was the fake ETF approval. So that was a range of, let's say, 6%, which were nothing. I expected a lot more volatility coming into it. But maybe it is because, as I told you before, retail isn't involved into the markets yet. Retail is just not in the markets yet. The few people that are looking at the YouTube channels are in my life right now. Congratulations. You didn't stop doing it. You just believed in what you saw a few years ago, stayed with it, and suffered during the bear market. Maybe you took all your profits out at the top. Even more congrats. But now it's the time to shine again. And yeah, I'm grateful for everybody that listened to me, also from my friends and family. So let's go. Let's fucking go. This is great. This is great. I mean, everything can happen. We need to watch for this week's end. This weekly candle will tell us a lot. I mean, as long as we close bullish on this weekly candle, you can expect further upside. If we get a rejection right now, and even if it's just a slight reaction and we come back down to 41K and we have a negative candle on such a pump with great news, this often means they took profit, buy the rumor, sell the news. But it would just be natural and a big opportunity to reaccumulate for those that say, oh no, I should have invested more. Your time will come. But when it comes, do it. Because it will not feel right. It never feels right to buy the bottom. And it never feels right to sell the top. So when it does not feel right, just go for it. Just go for it. Then, please guys, if you see, if you are on this live right now, please give me a like, subscribe, because the bull run just has started. I was not present for 2 years. We are back right now. I'm gonna be here for the bull run and for the next bear market. So let's grow this community. Let's make money together. I will try my best to get better every day, to bring the right information. And before everything, I want to give you clear directions of what price action is telling you, because the news will never make you rich. News bring prices higher or lower, but they will never tell you when it's coming. So you need to be prepared and know where is something undervalued temporarily and when is something overvalued. And this is why I believe that fundamentals are not as important as knowing technicals, because there are people, they are strong in fundamentals and base their whole trading and investment strategy on some news or some chain analysis, or I don't know. But for me, the technicals on the chart and also chain analysis is the most important. Because let's say you see this here, okay? You see negative bubble index, you see lower highs, you see Google Trends at all-time lows. So what does this tell you? It tells you it's still not, it didn't even run yet. Retail isn't even in yet. So all these pumps were made by the institutions. So a few days ago, I was like, yes, but if they flush the Bitcoin price down to, let's say, I don't know, 10K, who are they going to liquidate? they are just gonna liquidate themselves if there is no really retail right now involved. So retail is the most retail are in altcoins. So it could bring a bloodbath to altcoins. This is the danger behind it right now. This is why I talked about the downside, because when the downside happens, it happens quick. And if it happens, you need to have the right mindset, because you will not buy it. You will not buy the dip if you don't have it. As I said a few minutes ago, at the top, it's very, very hard and never feels good to sell. And it's very, very hard and never feels good to buy the bottom. So when it does not feel good and everybody is screaming on the internet, this is the moment you need to buy. I've been holding my XRP since 2020. Yeah, mate. The first time I accumulated XRP, I can actually show you on the chart, was in 2018. But not the majority of my holdings. But this was my first investment into XRP, was around here. Then I was directly in profit and I was like, yeah, great investment, and boom, for months and months it just was going down. Then I re-put back in some here, it pumped, I took profits and I reaccumulated between 17 and 24 cents. Since then I took the pump here, I sold half of my position, I rebought at 32 cents. And then I didn't took enough profit above here. So this was my hard year and a half, because I made really great profits. I doubled or almost tripled my holdings in XRP just due to trading. But I didn't, because it ran this time after Bitcoin topped, I was like, okay, this is the moment where we're going to rip off. And at that moment, it really looked like that we're going to have our last push, at least to the all-time highs, and it never happened. And I was like, okay, how low can it go? And I always targeted these lows here, because that was manipulation. We had a great accumulation back down here 2 years ago when I was on the channel with Matty G. I also explained how beautiful it's creating power to the upside. Nobody believed in it. Nobody believed what I'm telling them. But I always say, those who see what I tell them, they already have their experience in the charts, because you can only realize that I'm telling the truth if you already saw it personally in your life. So why was it so easy for me to capitalize on these moves? It was just because, come on. This chart is annoying. So let's do it in a 4 hour. So here we have a similar situation as we have in Hex. So we had this cup and handle with the break. So there was a target, a conservative target, which you put on the break, and it gave us this target here of that high we just did before. So for me, this was an interesting point to sell, and this was also the same move as we had when the settlement was over. In just one day, we pumped up 100%, which it did also here from 25. Yeah, this was even more, this was 300%. Then it corrected back down. So what I saw was this reversal pattern breaking this high here. I sold here on the top, then reaccumulated here. Why did I accumulate there? Just because we were at the golden pocket, none other than that. Okay, so we had this this level here, and I reaccumulated and basically sold it back here, reaccumulated again and run it to the top, and didn't sold enough. I sold some, but not enough. And this was very hard in the bear market. But as I know today, and as I survived the bear market, It was the best thing I could ever do. I'm tax-free on all my investments because I'm holding them for so long, okay? I didn't really, every money I made the last 2 years, every single cent that I could put in it, I just went in, okay? So this is why I'm pretty proud of the moves I did. I did a lot of, let's say, false moves too, but it's natural. We are human beings. We are not perfect. At the end of the day, the most important thing is, what did you took out? Did you made a profit? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And now we are in front of maybe the greatest bull run we will ever see and have ever seen since the creation and existence of Bitcoin. Just because now the big money is coming into the market. The big money. And as I said, look, $300 billion as we take XRP from 333 billion to 300 billion would be alone at 10x when we reach the market cap of Ethereum at a price of $2,600. This is amazing, guys. This is amazing. So if XRP can reach the market cap of Bitcoin that it has actually, so when Bitcoin goes, let's say, to 150k, it will triple that market cap. So when Bitcoin hits between 1.5 trillion and 2 trillion, is it possible for XRP to run up to 300 to 800 to a trillion? Of course it is. Why? Because it had a 2,500 day accumulation pattern. So we have a similar pattern here than here. It just was more compressed in time. So for those who like XRP, I will explain it very quickly. For those who hate it, I'm sorry. Give me your altcoins in the chat and I will take a look at them. But for now, yo brother, what's up, mate? I'm so hyped, man. I'm so hyped. I'm so happy. It's a great time. So just to talk a last time about how I believe we could see this hyperbolic phase is basically just because XRP didn't came from here. This is not where it got launched. So it came from here. So this was the first bull run top. Then we came back down. So this was the bull run top and we came back down. We came back down. Then we had the next pump, which was not breaking the old all-time highs, which we had the same here. Then we had a long accumulation. Then we had a long accumulation. Okay? I mean, an event like this could happen. Okay? But on the long term, I believe we are due for the last big push for the XRP before we will see again a long consolidation period. But I mean, if you are in now and we make such a move like this, don't even consider the last pump. It could be, but I mean, just the first push would be enough to bring us to between $6 and $10. And imagine if next bull run, we just do these types of move, not breaking the old highs. I mean, you would still have, let's say for now, I don't know, a 10 to 20x or 10 to 15x, and these 15x you can reaccumulate and put a 15 to 20x on the next run. This would bring you to a lot of money depending on how much you have into the market. So they always say at Wall Street, there's a saying, the longer the base, the higher in space. So we had the base here from August 13 to, or let's say from the top, from November 13 to the pump of 13 March 7th in 2017. So this was 4 years of sideways action, which we also saw right now, even longer. Okay, so we had now a base of 2,200 days. This is almost 5 years, guys. 5 years of sideways suppression, sideways action and suppression and fake news and this and that. But seeing them in World Economic Forums, sitting in rooms with the biggest central banks around the globe in different continents, it's just crazy. Yesterday I saw that Ripple is the gold sponsor of the Digital Euro conference in a few. And what does that mean? People say, yeah, but it's a sponsorship, so there was money going out, not going in, but that's not the point. People forget about shadow banning. If they don't want you to be seen, you will not be seen. So alone the fact that the European Central Bank and governments are allowing to promote as gold sponsor Ripple on their website and bringing them to the event is just amazing. So the gatekeeping is out of our way. And this is the craziest thing. I made a lot of mistakes last bull run and I should have taken profits. Only good thing I did was hold my XRP. Yes, mate. But I mean, life is not didn't stop at that time. So now we experienced what's the dark side of this whole crypto space and investment space. So if you were going through it, you are now eligible for greatness. And this is what I meant last time when I posted the mindset video. You need to go through suffering to become another person, because God doesn't let you go through suffering to be a bad person or to be a lesser good person than before. We human beings most of the time only change when something sucks and hurts and we suffer. If we don't suffer, we think we do the right thing, even if in us, we know it's not the right thing. But as long as we don't really suffer, we don't make that big change. And people that are in the crypto market since a long time suffer it if they didn't took profit. So it gave them a big lesson. It gave them the lesson that they hold on to their beliefs and they just don't give up. They just don't give up. And this is what makes you legible, okay? Yeah, man. I mean, we waited for... we waited... it feels like I was waiting forever. Forever. And the time will come for all of us that were in investments that were suppressed because they were the chosen ones. And as you maybe know, Warren Buffett once said, I don't want Coca-Cola or some kind of company that he is starting to buy and to DCA in. He doesn't want that price to 10x in a year, because he said, I want to accumulate more next year when new money comes in. When we made profits and we can re-inject those profits. I just don't want to buy Coca-Cola or something he's buying at a 10x price valuation from here. He wants to buy even more next year, and even more next year, and even more next year, until he has enough market share of that company to be one of the leaders. Okay? This is what they want. So the only reason why XRP didn't pump, in my opinion, is because it was one of the assets controlled by a company named Ripple. Not really controlled, but they hold the majority. And the big guys, the elites, they want control over something. So if they now use Bitcoin, is because it's controllable. Think about it, okay? So the thing is, now, all these escrow releases we saw in the past, they needed to come from somewhere. Who bought them up? Why, when 1 billion XRP hits the market in the due second, why is not the price crashing as crazy? Because there is someone rebuying it. Who is rebuying it is the question you need to ask yourself. And I tell you, these are the corporations that are buying up the escrow releases, plus Ripple that are buying back. So they release because it's an algorithm predicting $1 billion of the escrow is released every 30 days, or I don't know exactly when it is. But you can see that every time it happens, they rebuy it, they rebuy it, they rebuy it. And this is where you know they are accumulating. Just looking at the charts. People are waiting for 3 years for positive news. One positive news after another. One positive news after another and nothing happened. And that's the reason behind it. Because if you want to accumulate, you need a supply shock. And if you need the inverse of a supply shock. So you need supply hitting the market to buy it up, to not push the price too high. Okay, and this is what happened in my opinion. So as we see here, to just conclude that, if we take the extension of the inner laying circle, we have that the target met here, as you see, almost exactly the 200. Then we consolidated for like, we had the top in May 17 and re-popped in December. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So for, let's say, a half a year, we had sideways action. Who actually was staying in this last pump? Not a lot of people. Okay, so it's very, very hard to capitalize on such gains. This one was obvious. A lot of people took it with, but this one, I just don't know, because Bitcoin already corrected when this happened. So let's take the same extension wave here. So this was the top, the same than this one. So we didn't break the all-time highs as we did in the cycle before. People say, oh, we didn't broke all-time highs, XRP is gonna die. No, just look what it did. It did exactly that in the last cycle before it did this huge gain. So why not repeating the pattern? People just don't realize. So look, I mean, I don't even want to see these prices, but for now we'll talk about these prices, but this is what the extension gives us, okay? So nothing is impossible. I always say, look, here's the 100 extension, which is also a target. After that, it can correct. So let's see, where do we really need to break to see this movement incoming? I believe it's this high here. If we can break this high, don't know when it happens. It can happen in one day. It can take some months. But the moment it breaks 93 cents with candle close, volume profile, everything, I see this parabolically break the highs of last cycle. Until then, we have some kind of weird moves, I must say. What I don't like is this trend line. It concerned me all along the way, but what is very interesting in the XRP chart is actually how consistent it is. When we talk about consistency and let's say stability of a risk on asset like this, you will see every time we went down, we closed the imbalances. As here, we had an imbalance here, and we pumped, and we closed the imbalance just with the wick. And we did that everywhere. So every imbalance, every displacement in the market just got closed. No cryptocurrency has that. And this is amazing for me, because technical wise, it shows the maturity of the asset. It shows that institutions are into the markets, not degens. Okay, when degens come into the market, the price looks like this. This is great accumulation. Okay, this is beautiful. The only thing I always thought was like, if we break this line, it's gonna get ugly. And for now, luckily, we didn't. So keep that in mind, okay? When it happens, we will... The thing is, why there's some kind of possibility that it will never happen is because of this manipulation we had from the government in last cycle. So why should they bring us into this misery again after all we went through? So there is no community that got made more fun of than us, the XRP community. So why should they now do this to us again if there are so many projects like Solana that almost, in my opinion, just pump to for FTX to survive and stuff? You know, it's a deep rabbit hole to explain why I told you that right now. But I mean, if we see Bitcoin flushing down, we will see Solana coming down bad. Okay, so this was a suppressed asset too. It just ripped off like crazy. So we have the same pattern here. I don't know, Alex, if you're still in the stream, but as you can see here, we have a similar pattern than on HBAR. So it did quite the same thing. And here, as you can see, we are on our way to these highs. So Bitcoin now just sweep these highs here. This would be this high here. So ADA, for example, at 125 is the same high than we sweep just now at 48K. So now we got our rejection of the highs, which is totally normal because a lot of selling pressure came in. There were a lot of liquidations, short liquidations, which were interesting for the big guys to push the price even a little bit higher to get those liquidations in as a profit. Yeah, there is still a lot of time. There is still a lot of time. I mean, sometimes you don't know. Everything can happen in this market, but I believe there will be a moment in time where you can buy at a fair value. For example, Bitcoin. If you are the guy, no, I just want to invest in Bitcoin. I don't give a shit about these other coins. These are all trash. Then I tell you, if you want to buy Bitcoin, you will get a great entry. In proportion of where it is now, you will not get your 15K, 10K entry. If it happens, I mean, great, you know. But yeah, that would be this case here. So will that happen? I mean, it's Bitcoin is even the first time we touched the old highs. Before, we never touched the old highs again. So now, this time, we touched them. Why did we touch them? Because the upside wasn't that great as the upsides before. Why did we didn't correct as much in percentages this time than last time? Is just because of the formation. I have a video on my channel which is named what is it? I don't know, I need to watch it after, but it's accumulation and distribution explained. Trend-based FIB extensions. The name of the video is trend-based FIB extensions on Bitcoin, accumulation and distribution. Just to understand that there are, let's say, 3 different market structures when it comes to downside. And as people always like to look at it, is you have an ABC pattern. So in this case, how do you recognize an ABC pattern? Is when you have your local top and it reacts in between the 50 and 66.7, or it can also be 7.8, but in this particular case, I want to talk about that scenario, which would react at the 61.8, and then to see what is the potential move, because I am a trader that only trades these moves here. I don't trade these moves. I only trade these moves. Why? Because there is a pattern and there is a high chance of it to being fulfilled. And as you see here, if I take the top from here to here, to where it stop pumping in the selling zone, you have it gives you a target down here. So this is the first type of ABC down sequences. You can also take this up, because don't forget, If we get a break of A and we come back down and then pump, we have an Elliott wave. So people make fun of me because I have ABC patterns going to the upside, but BC correction means that we now have an Elliott wave, okay? So ABC pumps or BC pumps is always just when there's high momentum, but the idea is once we break A, this is very crucial. Once we break A, so we had a high that came from here, okay? We had a high, it reacted, local top, we had a low, we had a high, a lower high, reacted in our selling zone, and then broke A. So this is the pattern, okay? And once that happens, you will often see it come back here to fill some imbalances and then flush down. So now you know why I use it. This is one of the reasons why I use it. And then the 3 different patterns. So for example, now you have this one here, which is a lower high. Then you have a double top, for example. We take the same measurements, double top, and we take here the low, the high, the low, the double top, and then the extension would be not as high, not as low as this one would have been, just because of price action and strength accumulation. Then you have the third one, which is in confluence with what Bitcoin did. So we had the local top, we had the bottom, we had an overextension, and then we flush down and break A. So I will show it here. So we had the top, it came back down, we overextended, and we broke A. Here, for example, we didn't have that. We had here, a lower high and dump. This was a different pattern. A different patterns means different power. And in this case, as you can see, we started to move from the same line. Just here with an overextension, you can clearly see the targets go less deeper every time we have a higher B. But it's still the same, you know? So in this case, as I take this extension, look, I will do this. So we had this local top, we came down, we didn't broke structure here, and that's the reason why we pump back up, leverage position, Elon Musk saying Tesla is accepting Bitcoin for payments, Michael Saylor buying on leverage, etc, etc. So this was an overextended top. This is what it's called, and it gave us the bottom before even running to it. And as you see, we perfectly closed 50% of that target just because of the FTX crash, guys. This is precision that not a lot of people are experiencing in this market. You can be so precise when you use the right tools and listen to the right people. Even if maybe in the world I am not credible as others because they flex with their money and stuff, I can tell you, I don't know if somebody is talking about the charts as I do. There are not a lot of YouTubers making this for their primary job. So the most of YouTubers want you to click, to like, to come every day and watch their narrative, okay? So here you can see this was the target of the bear market. So now people say, no, we go to 10K, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I said it's possible. I mean, why not? But as you see, Fibonacci was right once again. And this is why I trust the Fibonacci more than myself. Okay? Fibonacci is just a gift from God, I tell you. Look. Where you put or start using Fibonacci is always at the low or high of a market. Look, 0, this high was 1, because why was this high 1? This high was 1 because we had this descending wedge. This was the first time since the bottom, or since the whole bear market, we actually did a falling wedge. And a falling wedge or falling channel is a most likely bullish pattern. The last channel we did was a rising channel. Rising channel is a bearish pattern. When was the last time we actually did a falling wedge? The last time we did a, oh shit. The last time we did a falling wedge was here. Okay? Crazy or not? I mean, come on guys. Wait, I need to put my charger in my phone and in my headset. One sec. I am back. So, patterns don't lie at the right places. So you cannot use patterns everywhere, but you can use them at the right places. In this case, I saw once now you understand it. We have an overextended top, we have targets met, we have the 1.8 cleared, we have a breakout structure which was a bullish pattern. We got the break, we got the retest. Why the retest? Because if you take from here to here, you exactly see we reacted at the 50% correction of that impulse. That impulse broke the highs, the last highs, which is a pivot moment. Then everyone that went in the highs, or that started buying on the break of these highs, got flushed out, or at least they made them fear that we go back down and go even lower. So everybody went out, and then the institutions pumped it to new highs. Next breakout structure here, which was the local top of the bear market, of the bottom of the bear market. So now we have shoulder one, head, shoulder, pump, breakout structure, retest the structure. It's simple, guys. It's so simple. People just overthink. The news make you doubt on your decisions and stuff. Look, it's so easy, okay? So, I mean, from that point on, you see now where the target is. I can just put it back on here, and then you realize why I am talking about a potential correction starting on from 43k. I mean, I can, look, I will show you something. So I can put a substance behind my words, because a lot of people talk, but they don't have substance. Look, this was in January 2023. I explained the cycles, and that this time it will not be different. And it did it. So we had a 426-day bear market from top to bottom, 365-day from top to bottom, 426 again, like this cycle here. So the cycle was the same. Then I told people here, your opinion does not matter, but fractals do. Fractals combined with what? Fibonacci. Fibonacci is just an explanation of fractals. So I trust fractals more than humans. And then what did I say? Look, the last target here was 43k. 43k posted on October 24th, 2023. I mean, it's not like I'm coming into the channel and talking you about what I say, but I have evidence, okay? This is everything I can show you. What does it matter how rich I am, or what do I have or don't have, if I can make you money? This is what counts, okay? When I can give you some kind of security to invest, or to be more patient, or to not give up on it. This is why I am here, okay? And I really wish that if you like this content, you show it to other people that don't have a clue when to enter because it's their first time. Share this video with people so we can create a community. If the community, or if I have a lot of engagement, I will create new Discord channels to start a community, but I don't start it right now because for me there is not enough momentum. So I really try to come here as often as the market allows me, because I will not come live 3 times if we are in a sideways action, because I will say the same things over and over again. Or I will talk about some news that came out or something like all these other people. Now you know exactly what to do. I will give you my re-entry targets in case of a black swan event, okay? In case of a black swan event, I see it come down to this point and go back up. So along the way down, you can accumulate. As long as we don't break this with candle close, it's all good, guys. It's all good, and it's the biggest opportunity if we don't have a lot of crypto just now. Then we have this imbalance. Do I believe we're gonna close it? If we close it, it's gonna be like, you know, like a wick going down there, and then we accumulate and start a hyperbolic phase. So no matter what happens, stay calm and yeah, accumulate, guys, accumulate. I mean, 2024 and 2025 are gonna be huge years for those who are invested in crypto. The first quarter of 2024 can be a little bit choppy, maybe also quarter 2, but I believe quarter 3 and 4 is gonna be the first time we're gonna see the huge pump, and being very sure about the bull run going to all-time highs and having price discovery. Okay, so I see now the market is reacting. It's nothing new. I don't fear whatsoever what is gonna happen. I knew since we go up here that we're gonna have our correction back down, no matter what I want the market to do. So just be aware of it. Once you are aware of it, you can anticipate something. You can do something about it. This is everything. You cannot control the markets. You can control yourself. And if you control yourself and you have enough awareness on your emotions, you will make the right decision. So focus more on yourself than you focus on the price. Because if you are a stable and strong person, you will make it. No doubt about it. Everyone will make it. Because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And those who see it will make it. Now, obviously, not everyone. I mean, it's a hard space. If it goes up, it's hard to sell. If it comes down, it's hard to buy. So you need to be very strong emotionally. So if there is I will wait for the next 5 minutes and see if there's some engagements in the chat. If there are some people that want me to take a look on their favorite altcoins, small caps, mid caps, whatever you want, no matter the liquidity, no matter the volume. I just look at candles and price action and momentum. So I would do a last technical analyze. So if you want, the time is now. If not, in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go off because I believe we are live since a long time right now. We had 20 people in the live, which is very great. I'm very grateful for that. I just would wish a little bit more interaction with me. Don't be fearful. Ask your questions. There are no dumb questions. The only dumb thing you can do is having a question and not asking. Maybe there are questions I can't give you an answer on it because there will not be an answer on how you ask your question. But for the rest, I believe I can really give you an outlook of possibilities. Let's go. I will make the music a little bit louder. And I will put my favorite part. Let's go. Look here, it's so beautiful. This is a displacement. This is an imbalance and a fair value gap. So once we were here, one or a few people just flushed the price down, and that created a displacement. So the market always seeks these displacements and these fair value gaps. So as you see here, boom, almost closed. It's like, oh, come on, it's not even 0.3%. We almost hit it. And now everybody is wondering in the crypto space, no, why we are going down? We told you we go down, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. It's obvious. It's obvious that we're gonna see downside movement, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, we did it, guys. We fucking did it. ETF approved. I don't know if there are new ETFs approved. I need to take a look at it after. But one of the ETFs or two got approved, and this means it's the first time in 14-15 years that we have an approval of an ETF. And back then, when gold got its ETF approved, it ran up 300%, and it's gold, like it's a lot heavier than crypto. Yo, Ray, how are you? Is new, but can you look at it? FAC, Flying Avocado Cat on KuCoin. Okay. Okay, I will do that for you. Let's see. Flying, what? Flying. Oh my God. This makes me anxious, just the name of it. Okay, I can't see it with this Flying Avocado Cat. Let's see. $7,000. It's not the same address. Let's see. What's the volume today? 28K. What's the market cap? Liquidity 125K. It's not a lot. Yeah, okay, it's a very small cap. Which obviously has a lot of potential to the upside. Just you need momentum. Once momentum kicks in, I mean, if 125K come in, you at least double the price. So let's see. It has a little bit of chart like Rollbit from price action. So let's see. I will start with the worst case scenario, okay? This is the... So you actually can calculate how much money goes into the market to push the price, and you see it's just crazy. So 12.5K is almost 10% of the whole order book liquidity that exists in the project. I don't know the tokenomics, I don't know the rest of it, but just price action wise, I don't know if you're already into the market or not, but the first thing you need to look at is a break of this trend line. Once we break it, obviously we broke structure, and we will remet or at least try to break this high here, which is liquidity all along the way. So So what can happen right now, if this is the bottom, it will just close that imbalance here to 50%. So let's say at best it should react at 6 cents, 5-6 cents. It can a little bit overextend, but it should not break these lows. This is important. If it breaks these lows, I mean, you can see it go down just to take that liquidity, and here you have a little imbalance. With small caps, I don't know how frequent it is that they take that liquidity, but look, it's a very, very small imbalance. These targets to met, which is another opportunity, because these projects like this, they don't need a lot of money invested to make good money, you know. So let's say it goes down here to the top, you have a run of 900%. So if you don't want to risk right now, let's say 30%, you will not make this 10x on it. And let's say it goes where it started, you are looking at 2000, let's say 20x. So it's a very small market cap. A 20x would only bring it to, say it was 600k. 10x would be 6.7 million. So 67 million market cap would bring it to $1.50 to $2, which is obviously possible, you know, because yeah, 67 million is not that much. I know 67 million would be 100x. Sorry. Again, it seems Elon's team created it. Yeah, I would not base my investment on Elon Musk, you know. It can also be a fake. It's hard to say. I mean, Elon Musk doesn't need 100x to become rich, you know. It's hard to say. I mean, every project goes up. Small caps rip off. Just be patient. Don't over-invest in such a coin. I mean, I don't know how much percentage of your investments in crypto is in this coin, but you should never invest more than 1 to 5% in such a coin. 5% is very high. So go more for 1%, because if it's doing 100x and you have $500 in it, you make 50,000 euro with $500 investment, you know. So don't be over greedy. Buy when it dips and wait for the cycle to start. This is all I can say. But I will be live in the next days. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's giving you some value for everyone that is in here. If you like it and if you enjoy the lives, maybe maybe share my channel with people, subscribe and like, and put in some comments. Once the live is stopped, YouTube will automatically load it up as a video, so then you can put comments on it, and it's all about the algorithm. So YouTube is a fight about algorithm, okay? So if you want me to be live more often, we need to create the community together, and then we also prosper together. So I wish everyone a good day. Thanks, Ray, for being active in the chat. I hope what I told you gives you some kind of perspective. I mean, market cap is very low. These things can just pop off like crazy. Doesn't really correlated to Bitcoin, but I say once it happens, people are going to be in fear, and that could cause this price to come down, close these last imbalances here, and then go up. So I mean, if you really like the project, I didn't look at the project at all, but just price wise, I would say you do nothing wrong by if it breaks the lows, to reaccumulate a little bit more. But don't, like I said, don't overinvest, and be smart about it, because it can do a 50 to 100x, and you don't need 10k, or you don't need $1,000 in it to make great profits. So I would say I'm done for today. I don't know how long I am live, but it's a lot. It's too long. People went off the live because it's just taking too much time. I started the live at 3:30 and we have 5:30, so almost 2 hours. And I would say if Bitcoin dumps, look, it's just, oh my god, I could just talk all day about it, but I mean, don't be fooled by price, you know. We just closed that imbalance and now reacted. As long as the weekly candle doesn't get red, we can go higher. As long as it doesn't get red, we go higher. So focus on the weekly candle. We need to wait until Sunday to have a more clear conclusion on it. Where are you then? Are you from the United States, or where are you from? I am from Luxembourg. I don't know if you know that country, but it's like the heart of Europe. It's very, very, very small country. We have like 750,000 citizens living here. So only 750,000 Luxembourgish passports are existing in this world. We can travel in almost 200 countries without visa, and we have extreme good financial policies here. So 20 years ago, a lot of money was flowing into the banking system here in Luxembourg. So we have a great community of financial enthusiasts, let's say it like that. Florida, man, it's great, Florida. I want to come to United States again, but I will wait until Trump gets into office again. If that happens, if that doesn't happen, I think I will never come to the United States. Yeah, the corruption is too obvious and too big for me to trust anyone in that country. Sorry. It's just they fuck us all over all the time, and yeah, let's see. Once they start capitalizing on blood that much, maybe I will see it differently. But I have the mindset of an American. So I learned, when I was young, I was in a lot of network marketing companies, and that business was flourishing in the United States, and here in Europe it wasn't really recognized as a real business. So I got my mindset from big network individuals like Alex Morton back then. So I have an American mindset, and I love everything about America. The only thing I don't like is the border controls and the government, you know. I heard of Luxembourg, but I will look a bit more interesting info you share. Thank you. I really appreciate you, and let's see us on the next live. Just put on the notification bell so you will get a message on your phone once I go live. Maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow, if something happens in the markets. So I would say I'm out, guys. I'm tired. I'm gonna eat something, and then good luck, stay strong, and we see us on the next one. Bye.